now, where are we going next?
We are going to Greenwich to take a boat along the river.
This is a ghost train. It does not have a driver. So if there's a train in front of us, we are...
So now we're going to go to the river.
We are about to go under the Thames River on the DLR. I'll have to hold my nose. We have made it to the Greenwich borough, and actually that name may sound familiar because that is time 0, the Greenwich time zone, and we'll put a link into Johnny Harris's explanation of why England is the 0 time, something like that. Very interesting video, check it out. And I would kindly request that you leave a like in this video
And comment, subscribe.
and comment. Let us know where you want us to go next, and don't forget to subscribe because that way you can
Get notified.
see our faces all the time.
But right now we are at the Royal Naval College, about to walk through and get on the boat. Going to take us down the Thames, kind of through the entire city.
So this is the Queen's house over there.
Oh.
So when they built the Naval College, the Queen told them she still wanted to have the view to the river and the city. Therefore they built the two buildings separate with a clear view all the way to the city so that the Queen can have a view from her balcony.
This is Jason, by the way. He joined us for the day. He's my other cousin. He was his brother.
Over there you have the Royal Observatory. So this is where you see the sky, the stars. This is where they keep the meridian. So this is where the meridian starts. So this is the actual GMT 0 zone from that building. And do you see that red orb on the top? This is one of the first mechanical clocks. So every day at 12 o'clock the orb will sink, they will drop at lunchtime, and the ships that were here, because this was the port, will sync their naval watches with the orb to know the exact time before they depart for the Atlantic.
Here too.
I'm learning so much. We have our own little tour guide.
It's very cool. We're standing at time 0 right now.
Will I cry? Will I leave behind broken and crumbled signs?
So this will actually be concluding our time in Greenwich. I have been to London quite a few times in my life and I've never been here. And I really, really like it. I could actually live around here. It feels like its own little neighborhood.
And now we're about to take the taxi boat, which is part of the transportation system here in London, and it's gonna take us back into the center. It's an Uber boat.
And I've been falling, I've been lost, and I've been calling.
The Thames River is actually pretty wavy, but due to the design of the boat, once it's going fast, you can't really feel the waves. It just feels like you're gliding. You can only feel like you're in a boat when you're going really slow as you're approaching the station.
I am will stay to find every hidden sign, taking all my roads.
All right, we just got off the boat, and this will be it for a time in London. We will see you tomorrow when we head to the car rental, and then we start a road trip up north at Olivia's roots.
We'll see you there. Off to pick up our car.
We're heading to London City Airport, taking up the car and heading north.
I'm really excited. That's one place that's always felt like home to me.
I mean, it kind of is. All right, we got our keys. We were literally just wondering about this brand, and this is the car we get. It's looking really nice, and the lady was super nice. We connected over the Mediterranean cultures, and she gave us an upgrade for only £10 a day. It's a super nice car. I guess the car started. There's no engine. Is this electric? No. So this is gonna be a bit of a challenge because this is my second time driving on the other side of the road. It's been a lot of years since I did that. But one tip that you can use when you're in this situation is remember, the driver's side is always in the middle of the road. So as a driver, when you're driving, you want to be towards the center of the road, not on the edge. So that after that clicked, it helped me. All right, so let's get out of the airport, grab a little bit of food, and let the road trip begin. Important question though, is the fast lane on the left or the right? Because everything is reversed. Would it still continue being the left? We'll see when people start honking. Okay, so we're on the motorway, which is how they call the highway over here, and we figured out it is actually the reverse. So the right side of the right side lane is the fastest lane.
We've just made a little pit stop to get some sandwiches at Waitrose, and Maria will be trying her first British sandwiches. Let's see how that goes.
So Olivia said we definitely have to try this. This is a British classic sandwich. She's been talking about these sandwiches that you can even get at the grocery store, and they're just like delicious. The British really love their sandwiches. So don't be afraid to venture with the sandwiches when in England, because so this is a prawn mayo sandwich. And they're all in these like little cute containers like that. Okay. We got a few more goodies too. It's not a road trip unless you have some goodies. Okay. Doesn't smell like anything. So is it just mayo and
Mayo, prawns, probably lemon juice.
yeah, some other stuff? It's good. Very mild flavor, very light. The bread is very fluffy. It's some oatmeal bread. Not too fishy. Good. Not the best sandwich I've had, but good. For a grocery store sandwich, I usually don't do that.
It tastes like home.
We also got some British chips, which here, chips is French fries and crisps are the chips. So we got this brand. We got some carrots and we got some, these are like American Lara bars, but Olivia claims they're better, so I will be the judge of that. And some nuts. Sweet chili. They love their Asian food over here. I think a lot more than the US. We'll dive our faces into that. I'm about to open the BLT, which looks amazing as well. And then we'll get back on the road. We got our snack bar. Honestly, texture looks just like the Lara bar, but a little bit of a different shape, which I think I like the shape of this one better, not that it makes a difference in the flavor. I think these bars are so basic that it literally tastes the exact same to me. So, Lara bar, Naked bar, not to be confused with the other brand. I think they're equally as good. No? Welcome to the city of Cambridge. This is going to be a quick stop because we still have a lot to drive, but we couldn't resist stopping by and
Grabbing coffee.
yeah, we need the coffee in this legendary little town. Is it a town?
It's a city.
Does it have an abbey?
So we learned that the way that towns and cities differ and what makes a city is that in order to be a city, it needs to have a abbey. So here we are at the University of Cambridge, which was built in 1209, and fun fact, it grew out of some pretty annoyed scholars from Oxford who wanted to kind of create their own path, and then that is how we had the expansion of Cambridge. And it is the second oldest English-speaking university in the world and the fourth oldest standing university in the world. And it's just beautiful. It's actually considered an ancient university. There are actually 31 independent colleges within the university. It's amazing. It's a whole town in itself. And there are so many influential people who studied here, who have taught here, including Isaac Newton and my personal favorite, Stephen Hawking. And it's just incredible to think how many people were trained here, taught here, how many ideas were sparked here. It's amazing. Why are we here, you ask? Well, let me tell you. A lot of people think Cambridge and they think of the University of Cambridge, which is super cool and super important throughout our history for science and technology and all this cool stuff. But the actual town of Cambridge has archaeological evidence dating all the way back to the prehistoric times of the 1st century. And after that, the Romans came through around 70 AD and they built their settlements here. Then the Romans decided to leave, and that was around 400 AD. Then a couple hundred years later, the Vikings came through, and this town started thriving after Vikings came in because they were really smart with their trading.
So it quickly started expanding, and then a few hundred years later, the Vikings left and the Anglo-Saxons came through and started becoming the city it is today. Everything is super old, but as you go more in the outskirts of the town, you see a little bit more modern designs, even more than we saw in London, which is pretty interesting. So there's a cool fact for you.